After nearly 2 years of waiting, the Ledger Stax is finally here, and it's officially the most expensive cold wallet in my collection at $399. But is all the hype worth the long wait and the price tag? Maybe, but that's what we need to talk about in this video. So let's jump right into this, because not only have I been waiting 2 years to get the Stax in my hand, but I've been waiting 2 years to do a proper review. So the first thing you notice right off the bat is its design is completely different from previous Ledger wallets. And you have to understand, the Stax is Ledger's pride and joy. It was designed by the inventor of the iPod, Tony Fadell, and it uses a first of its kind 3.7-inch organic plastic curved e-ink touchscreen, which has never been produced before until the Stax, which is a main reason it took so long to hit the market. The touchscreen is a huge upgrade compared to the tiny screens found on the Nano X and the Nano S Plus. It's a lot easier to read, it's more usable, and it's just cooler in general. It displays things like your wallet's name and the battery percentage on the side, which is unique, but the screen does have some downsides. First off, e-ink screens are grayscale, so while you can display your NFTs and pictures from your phone on your Stax, the picture is black and white, and I actually like the look, but we're all spoiled now with our phone screens, so not everyone will like it. But the main downside to the e-ink screens is that they don't have a backlight, so if you want to use your Stax in the dark, well, you can't. However, the pros of an e-ink screen outweigh the cons in my opinion. E-ink screens consume a lot less battery compared to normal LCD screens with a backlight. So this battery lasts a long time. You'll get up to 10 hours on a full charge of just normal use, or about 150 transactions. Or you can store it away on a full charge for weeks and then turn it back on and it'll still have some battery life. So unlike most touchscreen wallets on the market that have a backlight for their screen, like the Keystone 3 Pro or the OneKey Pro, the Ledger Stax is going to last about 10 times longer on a full charge. Plus it supports wireless charging, or you can just charge it with the included USB-C cable since it doesn't come with a wireless charger. But if you have a wireless charger, then the Stax does support the wireless charging function. Also, since e-ink screens actually direct light from the environment directly to your eyes, the brighter your environment is, the brighter the display actually looks. So using the Stax in direct sunlight outside actually looks really good, and there's no glare thanks to its anti-glare coating. And because the screen is made from an organic plastic, it's not prone to cracking. I wouldn't say that it's scratch proof, but it is scratch resistant. But overall, the plastic design makes it a lot more durable. The Stax is also really lightweight. It only weighs 45 grams thanks to its aluminum frame and plastic back cover. It's also portable considering it's the size of your bank card, and there's only one button on the entire device, which is the power button on the side, which doesn't stick out too much, so overall it's a really sleek design. And if you're wondering why it's called a Stax, well, it's because it has magnets embedded inside of it, so if you own more than one Stax, you can actually stack them together. Or if you're like me and you only have one Stax, you can stick it to your wall, because why not? But what I really like about the magnets is that you can get this protective shell for the Stax, and that's magnetic too, which actually comes with the Stax along with $10 in free Bitcoin if you use the link in the description to order your Stax. So definitely take advantage of that. And the magnet is actually really strong, so even if you drop the Stax and it's in its protective shell, it's not going to slide out of it. It actually takes some force to get it out. Something else I'm a sucker for is this cool kind of nostalgic old gaming system sound when you interact with the Stax, which just makes it that much more unique. But is the design alone worth $400? I'm not convinced yet, but we still have a lot more to cover. What we really want to know is if the Stax is worth upgrading to from our old Ledger wallet or maybe another brand hardware wallet. And if it is worth upgrading to, why is it worth upgrading when you could just buy something like the Ledger Nano X or a cheaper, more affordable touchscreen on the market? I don't know about you, but there are mainly two things I look for when I'm shopping for a new cold wallet. One is security, and second is usability. And of course, we all want a cold wallet that's going to secure our crypto. That's the main reason that we buy a cold wallet. But we also want something that's easy to use and enjoyable to use. And there's not a lot of wallets that offer both security and usability. If you get a wallet that's packed full of security features, oftentimes it lacks in the usability department. But that's where the Stax really shines. You got to give credit where credit is due. Ledger designed the Stax to be simple enough for a complete beginner who's never used a hardware wallet before to easily set up and use a Stax, but it's still exciting enough for even more advanced crypto users. For example, from the moment you power on the Stax, it guides you through every step of the setup process. Not only that, but it clearly and simply explains what you're doing and why you're doing it. So if this is your first cold wallet, you shouldn't have any issues setting it up. And if you're a more advanced user, then you'll appreciate all of the security features that the Stax offers, one of which you won't find on any other cold wallet. but we'll get to that in a bit. But first, one of my favorite things about Ledger wallets in general is their compatibility. A lot of wallets you can either use with just your desktop device or just your phone, but Ledger wallets you can use both with desktop and mobile devices. And the Stax is equipped with Bluetooth and a USB-C port, so you can use it with your Mac, Windows, or Linux desktop device, or with your iOS or Android mobile device. This means you can set up the Stax using the Ledger Live app on your phone. You can even do firmware updates over Bluetooth. And of course, you can manage your crypto on the go. So this would be a good wallet if you like to travel with your crypto, but still make sure that it's secure. Or if you prefer using your computer, you have all the same options available there too. Now, one thing worth mentioning is that you cannot view your crypto portfolio directly on the Stax. It's only visible in the Ledger Live app. And this is a common question, not just about the Stax, but hardware wallets in general. Hardware wallets do not display your portfolio on the device itself because that would mean that it's connected to the internet, which defeats the purpose of a cold wallet, which is to be offline and protect your crypto from potential malware or hacks. Speaking of security, we have to address the elephant in the room, which is the supposed backdoor that all Ledger devices have, which is completely false. This has already been proven untrue. Ledger wallets are 95% open source. This includes the infamous Ledger Recover program, so there are no security concerns when using any Ledger wallet, especially the Stax, despite what you read on Reddit from random people who have not done a lick of research. And the only reason Ledger isn't 100% open source is because they use one of the most trusted EAL6 Plus secure element chips designed by ST Microelectronics to protect our private key. And this is the exact same chip used in dozens of billions of bank cards around the world, and it has been for tens of years, so its security has been proven and hardened over time. Of course, there is a downside to using such a secure chip, and that is that Ledger can't share the low-level code that communicates with the secure element due to the non-disclosure agreement they have with the chip manufacturer. But everything else is fully open source. Ledger Live, the device's operating system, all of Ledger's apps, and yes, even Ledger Recover. On top of that, all of Ledger's software, including their operating system, is audited by a third-party security company to confirm that there are no vulnerabilities or, you guessed it, backdoors. Of course, the Stax comes with standard security features we expect from our cold wallets. It generates a 24-word seed phrase when you set up a new wallet, or if you're looking to upgrade from your old Ledger Nano X device, you can just import your current seed phrase, super simple. It also has a 4 to 8 digit PIN protection and even passphrase protection, also known as a hidden wallet. But it also includes some features that you won't find on most other cold wallets. The first notable feature is what Ledger calls clear signing. This turns confusing transaction details, which is usually just a bunch of random numbers, into something we can actually read. That way we know exactly what we're approving before we sign it, which helps us avoid any potential malicious transactions. And this is all backed by Ledger's first of its kind secure touchscreen. So the Ledger Flex and the Stax are currently the only wallets on the market that use a secure touchscreen. And sure, you could say this just sounds like some fancy pants marketing mumbo jumbo, and it is, but it really does make these wallets more secure than other touchscreen wallets on the market. So all the other touchscreen wallets on the market use an MCU or a microcontroller unit, which is basically just a tiny computer to do less critical tasks, such as display everything that we see on our hardware wallet screen, in addition to the secure element chip, which manages our crypto transaction and stores our private key. However, MCUs are not as secure as a dedicated secure element. So in theory, if a hacker got their hands on your hardware wallet device and they were able to install some malicious firmware onto the MCU, they could potentially change the transaction details of your hardware wallet without ever knowing your keys, and then you could end up sending your crypto to the wrong address, assuming that the wallet you're using doesn't have other safeguards in place to prevent this kind of attack. To be fair, this kind of attack usually targets high net worth individuals, so it's extremely rare, and again, it does require physical access to your device, but it is still a potential threat. However, a secure screen solves this by cutting out the MCU and connecting the secure element chip directly to the screen. And since the secure element drives the screen itself, there's no way that a hacker could intercept or tamper with the transaction details displayed on your wallet screen. And again, the Stax and the Flex are the only hardware wallets on the market with this secure touchscreen. Is it necessary? No. But is it welcome? Absolutely. Okay, so all these features are great for securing our crypto, which is what we all care about. However, one of my favorite security features that the Ledger Stax offers is the Security Key app. And this helps protect my online accounts outside of crypto like Gmail, Facebook, X, and really any platform that supports using passkeys or two-factor authentication or universal authentication. And the reason I like this feature so much is because using a passkey is way more secure than traditional passwords or two-factor authentication methods, such as using your email or text messaging for 2FA, because your email can be hacked and your SIM card can be swapped. And it's just super easy to use once you download the Security Key app on your Ledger Stax device. You can just hold it up to your phone, and using NFC, it can log into your accounts, or you can plug it in your computer using the USB-C cable and log into your accounts on your desktop device. All that said, I have no doubts that the Stax is one of the more secure wallets that you can buy. However, I have noticed some downsides after using it for a week straight, especially when using it side by side with the Ledger Flex. First off, the Stax supports over 5,000 cryptocurrencies. It supports all the popular coins and all the new meme coins that you want to store, which is great. But the Stax only has 1.1 megabytes of available memory for app storage, and with most apps ranging from 50 to 200 kilobytes, you can realistically only have about 5 to 15 apps installed at a single time. Now, this doesn't necessarily limit the amount of crypto you can hold in your wallet. It doesn't at all. However, if you manage multiple currencies across different blockchain networks, then it's kind of a pain because you'll find yourself installing and uninstalling apps when you want to manage certain tokens. However, if you're like me and you only deal with a few coins on a few different networks, maybe like Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Solana, then you're not even going to notice the limited memory that the Stax has. The other and most obvious downside is its price tag. $400 is a lot of money. Sure, you're getting the first ever organic e-ink curved touchscreen designed by the creator of the iPod, which adds a massive coolness factor to the Stax. I'm not trying to take away from that. And if that's worth the extra cash to you, more power to you. But if you're not swayed by the cool factor, the wireless charging, the 3.7-inch curved touchscreen, but you still want all the security features like the secure touchscreen, clear signing, and the Security Key app, you might consider saving yourself $150 and just going with the Ledger Flex. It's basically the exact same wallet as the Stax, except it has a smaller 2.8-inch Gorilla Glass e-ink touchscreen, and it doesn't have wireless charging. But other than that, it offers all the same functionality and security features as the Stax. If you still can't decide between the Ledger Flex or the Ledger Stax, then you need to check out my full review in this next video. Hit that subscribe button as well. I'll see you over there. God bless.